What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Manny Reads Comics, where I'm reading Sinister War 3 at the moment, and we're gonna recap it here with Frank's comic books. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
And he's back here. This is the third time he's been doing Sinister War with me this whole time. And as always, let's go ahead and talk about this what's it called? The um, cover here. What do you think of this?
Not really a huge fan on it. Um, I don't know. It's just something about the way he's drawn and the shading. I don't know. It's an alright cover. It's
Man, look at the foot. Look at the.
exactly that's what I'm saying. The coloring and the shading. It's just I'm just not like I'm looking at it now. The feet, because that's the first thing I looked at before you even said it. Ah, I don't really like it.
Yeah, again, we said this in the last video, and if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But we said this in the last video where like Brian Hitch, he is not a favorite of mine. He's not a favorite fan, and I'm surprised that he's doing covers because I first saw him in interiors and they were bad. like so I don't know.
Even
I'm
the benefit
surprised.
of the doubt on the last one. Oh, the last one was pretty cool. I'm saying, but this, man, this is ugly.
Man, I cannot agree with you on the last one either,
I
man.
gotta get ugly on these covers permanently because
No, and I'm surprised that they went with this guy for the last little like hurrah for Nick Spencer. Like this is his last story, and they went with this guy. But it is pretty cool to see you see all of them ganging up. You see the Craven, the Goblin, Sandman, Lizard,
Rhino.
Taskmaster. Yeah, you see pretty much everyone. Goblin.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool. But either way, not my cup of tea.
Nah, I don't really like it.
No. But moving on to this review real quick. I'm gonna tell you my rating real quick. I'm gonna ask you yours, but then we'll go into like actually explaining why. Like so, real quick, I did give it a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5. What do you think?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
7. Yeah, I
Just
mean,
like,
oof. I thought I was being generous. I guess I was. So let's find out why we gave it that rating. This book opens up with Spider-Man looking pretty rough. He's beaten up. We know that he's got like 30 villains on his back. He's never faced this many villains at one time, and but somehow he's escaped the villains, and he's like put a little bandage around him, and he's down. Like he
yeah,
doesn't know how he's gonna make it out. But luckily, backup arrives. We see Black Cat show up. He's just like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "Hey, it's gonna be fine. We saw everything. We heard the news. I brought up backup," and she points at Wolverine and Johnny Storm. And I'm like, "Damn, this is a weird team." But this is gonna be badass. This is gonna be great. And like he can help him out. He can focus on Kindred and go save what's her name, MJ,
hmm,
while they fight back. But too bad.
yeah, right.
It was all a dream. Now
It's the queen.
Mysterio
The queen.
Mysterio made his illusions, and who was it? Lizard that jumped out. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So Lizard jumps out. He was the one pretending to be Wolverine,
Hmm.
and jumps out. And I guess at this point, I'm thinking, does the spider sense rely on how tired Spider-Man is? Because like there was no spider sense going off here. He's definitely in danger. But I
It's
guess
just
since
so
he's
exhausted.
fatigued, yeah, I guess. But it does come up a little bit later though. But that was the first thing I thought. I was like, wow, okay, so you're not gonna dodge that front on attack. Like, come on,
Yeah, right.
you're Spider Man. But then Kindred starts talking and he says he's got one last surprise for Spider Man, and he brings back Sin Eater. Like, I don't understand like why that's one last surprise for him.
Why bring them back again? Like
Yeah,
you brought him back just to like reject him, and now you're gonna bring him back again. Like for what purpose? It's gonna be, if anything, it could be used against you because
right.
he might hurt, he might hate Spider-Man, but at the same time, you brought him back and gave him purpose, and then told him that his purpose didn't matter anymore.
Yeah, you burned him. You basically you
Burn that
burned the
bridge.
bridge, but not really. Because when he comes out of that grave, he's looking like more possessed than he
Hmm.
is like
Yep.
himself. So I guess that kind of makes sense. But he brings them back, and then you see the souls or the sins. That's what they were. The sins leave his body, and they go into like a couple of people, or they don't even show the people. They just show like going into
Ravencroft,
buildings.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ravencroft and
Ravencroft.
Hotel and some and and something else.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm like, am I supposed to know who these people are? Like Ravencroft could be a couple of different people, but I mean, I was like, you know what? We'll get to that because I don't know now, and I'm not gonna try to figure it out. But Sin Eater comes back, and at this point, all Spider-Man can do is like try to get away from the six, but they each kind of attack. Octavius prevents him from leaving, grabs him the one at the final moment, and he and Spider-Man's like, "Stop! Like this isn't you anymore." And
Mhm.
it's it kind of breaks through. Like he kind of
Almost
does
like
hesitate a little bit, just a tiny, yeah, exactly, just a tiny bit. And then everybody else is like, "Hey, if you're not gonna do it, I'll do it." Like, like we waited for so long, and they're still it's not like that they want to do it either. It's weird
yeah,
because they're just like we need to do this before Kindred kills us or hurts us or anything, which is kind of weird because you would think that they are excited to finally kill Spider-Man, right?
yeah,
But no. Um, but then Ock hesitating for that one moment, it gave the Savage Six their chance to come in. Scorpion stops him. Um, and they swoop in to try to kill Spider-Man. They all want the credit. Every single one wants their own credit. So then we go back to Sin Eater, and like I said, he released those souls, and we see those people. Yeah, I guess I skipped ahead a little bit, but either
yeah.
way, Vulture and Stegron they catch Spider-Man trying to sneak away, and
Yep.
uh, and Spider-Man is able to like uh, what does he do? He gets what's a web on Vulture and swings him around
Onto
Stegron and is able to like catch him. That was pretty cool, smart.
mhm.
He's not as fatigued as he thought he was, I guess, because that
Yeah,
seems like it would be a lot of strength. But
yeah,
when you're down, I guess. But he manages to tie them together, and this is where he acknowledges his spider sense. He's like, I can't even trust my own spider sense at the moment. And then we see Boomerang up in the sky, and he sees him. He's like, man, I've never seen Spider-Man so like tired, so defeated. And at this point, I'm thinking, oh, is he gonna try to like help Spider-Man or anything like that? Because I don't care. You still suck, Boomerang. Like to me, I'm like Boomerang. You burned that bridge with me. Like you're gonna have to do a lot more than just save him here to be able to get my trust again. Because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he really did, man. He really got me at the last minute in that last storyline. I really thought that he had changed, and when I was like, you know what, he did change. Boom. Yeah, he
He
betrays
ripped
him.
your heart out. He ripped your
Yep,
trust out.
done, man. I was mad. Uh, but Boomerang does let the rest of his group know, and just so you know, I did a little research surprisingly, and his group, I was calling it like Overdrive's group because he's the one that brought them together, but they're known as the Superior Foes. So we got the
Yeah.
Sinister Six, Savage Six, Superior Foes, because this is the team that was I'm assuming mostly together during the Superior Spider-Man run.
Mhm.
So that makes sense. That's kind of cool. Um, but so the superior foes they start attacking, and Tarantula attacks him. Overdrive, they all run in there, and Boomerang is like, "You need to escape," and
Yep.
like gives him that little opening, pretends like he just let his boomerang blew up and everything, and oh, he was so fast, and as Spider Man's able to get away, but what's it called? At this point, I'm looking at it like these villains are stupid. like, like they could literally all just work together, like not even try to get the credit
But they
for their own.
don't. But even since the first Sinister Six appearance, they don't work
The
together.
same
That's the
mistake,
problem. There's too many of them. There's too much credit to want.
right?
And like you said, you called it. I think in our last review, or our post convo, he's trying to make up for it. You called it with Boomerang. He's trying
Yeah,
to make up for it,
I
and
knew I knew it might happen, but
he called it. As I'm reading, I was reading. I'm just like, man, he really called it. Like
it's the big brain, man.
the minute that I read, he was just like, "Oh yeah, I've seen him, and he's taking a beating like never before." Right
Yeah.
then, just like he's having a change of heart. He feels bad at what he's seeing,
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
he's like, "Run!" He's like, "Oh, he pressed the button on my boomerang, and it like he's really trying to make amends for this." And
And like
I
I
think
said, it's not enough. It's not enough yet. I don't
that's true.
know. To me,
But
at least.
you called it. You hit it. He's trying to make up
I
for
res-
the Lifeline tablet.
I've read a couple of comics in my day, you know. Just no,
Yeah.
but we do get like a nice half page spread of all the villains. Like all these villains are together attacking again, so, and it's pretty much just to show how like overwhelmed Spider-Man is at the moment. Like it's not looking good for him. Um, at this point, while he was able to get away because of Boomerang, he decides to like rest by a dumpster, and he's just like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here in Old Faithful, and that's when this is the first appearance. By the way, for anyone watching, this is technically the first appearance of the Sinful Six, which is the souls that or the sins that Sin Eater released. So it's Sin Eater, the Juggernaut, Gray Gargoyle, Living Laser, Whirlwind, and Morlun. That's the Sinful Six. So that's another neat cool team name that they gave, and it ends with Kindred saying something along the lines of like that no one changes, like everyone tries to change, blah blah, but no one truly changes. And he's showing images of Octavius, Boomerang, and Beetle, the
Beetle, yeah.
female Beetle from the what are they called, the
Sinister Syndicate.
Sinister Syndicate. There you go. And those are three that are trying to change. Dark Octavius was forced to change back to Doctor Octavius, right? To
Mm-hmm.
the octopus. He was forced to change back. We get Boomerang, who
Messed
he's
up.
trying to
Now
he
he's
messed
trying to
up and
change,
he's trying exactly. And
and
then
the
we got Beetle,
he's
who
trying to change for Robertson.
yeah, which you called. You, if you look back in our old video, you called that one. So that's three people that are trying to change, as Kindred is saying, like no one changes. So I'm thinking that's going to come into play maybe in the next
Is going to come into
issue or
play.
two. Yeah, for sure. And and that's it. That's the ending. That's for me. It was enjoyable. It's not looking really good for Spider-Man, which I like, and then there's that sense of danger. So that's why I gave it a 7.5. But what about you?
I give it a 7.0. I mean, it was entertaining. It was cool. I like the little Human Torch tease. I'm just, for a quick second, I'm just like, whoa, this is a really strange team. But
It would
man,
have been
boom,
cool.
it's kind of cool. Are gonna mess some people up, and then boom, it was an illusion. So I like that little, I guess, fake interaction with them. Um, it was it was good. It just kind of felt like maybe it was dragging a little bit,
Yeah,
like just like what are we doing? Like how many more people are you gonna throw into this? Like, at some point you kind of have to call overkill. How many villains are you trying to throw at him to realistically, make it
get away.
entertaining? Like Spider-Man can't fight 40 people. He's already fighting 30, and now you throw at him those sin people.
Yeah,
What is it, like 36 people now that he has to go up against by himself?
36.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. Um, oh, the cover sucked. All like we said. But I mean, everything else was cool. Like it's cool seeing how everybody's coming, but it's kind of also predictable as far as
Mhm.
we know that they're not going to work cohesively.
Right, right.
You know,
And
like
like you were saying, that he's being overwhelmed. He's got so many things. Like Moreland by himself gave him all the trouble he needed. I'm pretty sure he killed him in the storyline. Like Moreland can take on Spider-Man toe to toe by himself. So now you throw Moreland with 35 other villains that can pretty much hold their own against Spider-Man. It makes no sense that he's still standing. Like we needed the Torch or Wolverine or Black Cat to show up for real. Like somebody needs to show up. Yeah. So, but
that's what. Oh, that's why when I saw Torch remove Rain, I believed it. I'm just like, okay, like I believed it, but it was a cool little illusion. Like, nope, it wasn't. So I like that. Um, I kind of like the little hanger that the book left you on, like with the panels of the three people who are trying to change, because it's almost telling you that these three are going to change the game for you.
right, right,
Like, you know, all their conscience, like, and it's like you said, Doc Ock even hesitated, to go after him and finish it. Spider was just like, you don't have to be that person anymore, and
right.
then he just like, paused for a second, so you could tell that got to him.
Yeah,
So I think moving forward, it's gonna be Doc Ock who's gonna be like, you know what, you're not controlling me anymore. Like you're not the boss of me. I run
Yeah,
this. I form my own Sinister Six, and they do what I want. I don't know who you are. And then with Beetle, I think it's just I think people are gonna want to turn a new leaf. And then since three of them are gonna have this in common, plus plus with Boomerang, I think that they're just gonna internally erupt. Like they're not gonna get along. It's everybody's fighting to stay alive, so it doesn't mean it's gonna be like clean and cohesive. Like you guys block off this way, and you guys block off this way, and then when he comes our way, we'll take care of him. It's just gonna be everybody wants the credit, like you said.
yeah, yeah. And another one that they didn't show at the end there, but another person that's trying to change is Mysterio. He was working with MJ, like you told me, and
Exactly.
but it's
Yeah.
weird. It's weird that he did those illusions in the beginning, though, like because he is trying to change. I thought he was trying to save MJ, but then he isn't. Like, did he give
What
up?
what does Kindred have on him that Mysterio is doing all this? That's the question. Because, like, you're right. I think Kindred even killed him, and then he brought
Yeah,
him back, and then
I
he
think
gave him
that's
that.
all it is. I think it's just fear. Like he did kill him. He did torture him. So it could
Yeah,
just be fear. But
yeah,
so I don't know. So to me, it's like you said, this is like a filler issue. To me, it's weird that this is a filler issue because the next issue is the last one.
yeah.
So like it makes no sense. Like you should have been maybe this should have been the climax, and then the next issue kind of be kind of filler.
It
Um,
feels like this book was a continuation of the last review that we did.
yeah,
It,
exactly.
it kind of almost felt the same. I mean, it went somewhere. Not even that it went somewhere. It just elaborated more on what was already elaborated in the previous book, and then it kind of gave you that juicy ending. You
We're
know?
just getting a lot of villain monologue from
Yeah,
Kindred. That's all it
yeah.
is. It really is just him talking, and that's it. So, and you know what? I do say the next issue is the last issue, but we do have. I mean, that came out this week. We got ASM 72, which connects to Sinister War.
Yep.
Then we get Sinister War 4, and then we got ASM 73, which I don't know if Sinister War 4 is going to be the finale or 73. So we technically have 3 books left, so that
Left.
makes a little bit more sense.
I
So,
just, I just want to know. I just want to know what Kindred wants. Like, what's your
mhm,
deal, bro? Like, what are you dragging out? Like, what did he do to you? You know.
right,
But
exactly, man. Well, I know that you haven't read. You just told me that you haven't read 72 yet. I have, so I'm telling you, after we get off here, you need to go read that because it is gonna answer a
without
little bit of questions.
without telling me anything about it,
You know what? They
what's
don't
your
even talk about Kindred. They don't even have Spider-Man on there. Nothing happens. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm telling you, like I'm just trying to. I'm not trying to spoil anything, so I'm just gonna tell you that it's
what would
about
you give?
Wolverine. No,
What would you give it though? A rating, like
the
another?
the next book.
No, the 72.
Okay, the 72. Um, see, so I am gonna make a video on that, so look forward to that. But
Uh,
I'll say that I gave it a 6 at the end.
okay.
But the thing is, it started off as a 4,
Oh my
and
god.
then it went up to an 8. And then when I finally like kind of like got over the hype, I was like, all right, this is a 6. But I don't want to spoil. I don't want to lead you one way or another, man. I'm telling you, like you're gonna go up and down. That's it.
Gotcha.
So, but other than that, anything else you want to discuss about Sinister War 3? Anything else you see? All right. All right. That's pretty much it. Everyone else, thanks for watching. As always, Frank's Comic Books. Find him on Instagram. Do you have any other kind of like social media that you do?
Just Instagram.
Just Instagram. Check him out on Instagram. He's always showing off his books, his haul of the day, things like that. So check him out. For me, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. You can also listen to this as a podcast. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
All right, guys.